Morning, ma'am. Good morning, classmates. We are the group 2 and we are assigned to report the topic all about the government banker, advisor, and agent. But before we start with our reporting, let me introduce to you our reporters, Miss Arcayara Arlene, Miss Kurimo Dendi, Miss Daraman Princess Marie, and now let us start with our first reporter, Miss Arcayara, and she will report the bunker to the government. Bunker to the government. The central bank is the custodian of the government funds. It keeps all the cash balances of the government but does not pay any interest on such funds. Second, it makes and receives payments on behalf of the government, such as the salaries to government servants, payments of interest to people on public debt, pension to government servants, and etc. Third, transfer government funds from one another and from one account to another. The RBI has many offices in most states and therefore can transfer funds easily. In other places, the SBI act as the agent of the RBI. Fourth, it advances short-term or temporary loans to the government known as ways and means loans, as and when required. This usually done by discounting the government treasury bills. Fifth, it makes extraordinary advances to the government during emergencies. Emergencies like floods, typhoons, that are calamities that we are not expected. And the next is it provides foreign exchange to the government to meet its external debt, obligations, and spend money in foreign countries. And last is the central bank also helps the government to raise long-term loans, often directly contributing in such loans or by underwriting such loans. Thank you, Ms. Arcayara. And now let's proceed with the second topic, which is the advisor to the government, to be reported by Ms. Kurimo.
The central bank advised the government on all monetary and economic matters, such as deficit financing, devaluation of currency, public debt, price stability, trade policy, foreign exchange policy, commercial policy, monetary policy, planning, budget policy, and etc. Since the central bank possesses full of the information about the working of economy, it is in position to offer useful advice to the government. Advice is also sought on certain aspects of formulation of the country's 5 year plan, such as financing pattern, mobilization of resources. In India, RBI advised the government in all banking and financial matters, such as preparation of the financial budget, resource mobilization, and measures to control inflation.
Thank you, Ms. Kurima. And now let's proceed with the third topic, which is the agent of the government, to be reported by Ms. Daraman.
Another function of the central bank is it acts as an agent of the government. Central bank manages public debt, raises loans by selling securities and bonds, payment of interest, repaying loans on maturity, etc. is undertaken by central banks. Central bank maintains exchange rate stability. As a representative of the government, it manages the country's financial relations with international financial institutions like IMF, World Bank, and others. In short, it is a friend, philosopher, and guide to the government.
Thank you, Miss Princess. But before we end up with our reporting for today, Miss Korimo will give you the sum up of our reporting.
Central bank everywhere performs the functions of banker, agent, and advisor to the government. The central bank operates as a government banker not only because it is more convenient and economical, to the government, but also because of the intimate connection between the public finance monetary affairs. As a banker to the government, it makes and receives payment on behalf of the government. It advances short-term loans to the government to tide over difficulties. It floats public loans and manages the public debt on behalf of the government. It keeps the banking accounts and balance of the government after making disbursement and remittance. As an advisor of the government on all monetary and economic matters, the central bank also acts as an agent to the government where general exchange control is enforced.
Thank you, classmates, for listening, and thank you, ma'am. That could be all for our reports, and hope you learned something.